Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. How are we doing? Appreciate you're all here on time. We'll give it 1 or 2 more minutes, and we're gonna dive in. Honestly, single ticker names. There's not a ton I like, so I'll wait for you guys' request. Other than some stuff I mentioned in the tab that I'm looking at, but there's not a whole lot I like. So I want to focus on spine QQQ heavily, and we'll see what do you guys have on request. Yeah, Phantom Blade, Netflix. Thank you. That was actually the one that I was like, hey, this thing is in trouble. I love that. Definitely gonna look at that one. Mainly just, I guess my comments are mainly just, I'm looking at a few daily candles from last week, and some of them are very ugly wicks, large wicks on both sides. Trading in the middle of a zone, so just nothing I really love. Um, Obviously, we can day trade pretty much anything, but it's just a matter of finding some setups. So, but yeah, appreciate you guys getting here on time. 1 or 2 more minutes, then we'll get going. I'm sure some will be late and want spine QQQ again, but we'll see if we can do that at the end. JJ, I see you in the chat. What do you like on snow? Bullish or bearish setup? Let me know that. We can kind of help guide you if you need some guidance, or you can kind of tell me if you're already in something. But let me know what you're looking at before we get to that name. I'll start writing these down. There's a few that came in, so. Bearish, nice. All right. Tesla. All right, guys, with that, we're going to get started. We got 25 of you in here, 24. That's good. Fitness, watching upward channeled hood, took it from 4-hour time frame, started December. What's it focusing? Cool. I'll write that one down. We can go over that. I'll read that message again from you once we get there, but definitely write down. All right, guys, welcome in. Like I said, new year, probably a lot of new members. My name is StartedWith. Glad to have you guys here. I do all the Sunday night classes, the Sunday scans, basically just a market analysis, kind of where we're at, where I think we could be going in a day or a week or a month from now. Kind of just help you guys out, get your bearings, get your mindset for the week. And then we go over some requests from you guys because that's what this class is for. But with that, you guys, yeah, we're going to dive in. This is the daily chart on SPY. If we go back 5 days, I know we're kind of talking about this zone here, this old all-time high zone. And I said that was basically, as I zoom in here, that was basically the critical level to hold, basically that 586 level. Friday, Thursday, so somewhere around here, we opened the week. We sold through it. I know we talked about that, a big buyback up. We bounced, and then the next day we gapped, ultimately sold down hard, and we ended lower on the week. And so for me now, my focus I'm on SPY, I'm on the daily chart, is this 580 level. And why to me that matters, if we kind of just ignore what we've been through and just look at all this price action here from October. So to me, coming to an old zone or coming back to a zone here, the shaded area, like I always say, old support is now resistance, old resistance now support, same thing. And so this thick line here, this 580, you guys, if you want to like get some charting notes or take screenshots, whatever, that's going to be the focus this week. I think that decides whether we bounce and we trend and we push up for a day, or if we sell and we keep selling underneath that and kind of laid down. This gap right here, so if I move this, this gap is from the election night, November 5th. And so we are, as of now, about halfway in it, okay? But levels on gaps and into gaps are still support as we come down into them. And overhead, there are still resistance levels. So you guys see how much that 580 is going to matter this week. And then obviously the screen shaded area, just for illustration, to kind of show you guys that gap as of now is still open. We got down to basically 587.50 on Friday and then bounced and closed a little bit higher than that low of the day. But that gap is still open. It's not a full gap now because we have partially filled it. To be correct, it's more like this. So that is left on the gap, and that's what we need to test that. And so for me, it'll probably be my notes early tomorrow. That 580 zone again. Anything over that, look for bounces and catch a trend day. Because even though these daily candles, we're having some down days, don't ignore huge supports coming up. This 580 is huge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 or 14 days around that price action there. And then finally it sold down, had election, gapped up, never looked back until, okay, now here we are. And so we could very well, you guys, trickle in around here, consolidate, kind of in this zone here. And, 580 is our floor, this overhead's our ceiling, or we could sell down into it. I don't know. We have CPI this week. I'm going to trade very lightly because of CPI, or at least, the morning of or the day of, because that's going to be very crucial. But for me, again, I'm treating 580 as the floor until it's not, meaning our big support And then this overhead zone, this red zone, you guys, again, screenshots or mark down some levels if you want. That 584.45 pocket all the way up to basically 586. Like if you listen to that number, yeah, it's a couple dollar range, but like that's a big pocket of resistance that I think when we push back up to that, I would expect first attempt. So say we open at 580 tomorrow, we just rally all day. I would expect some rejections in here first attempt. Do we bang on that door right there and then break over and then close over it tomorrow? I don't know, but I would expect some resistance, some pushback because we can see here when we break over 580 looking left, couldn't get that candle closed. Open there, couldn't get the candle to close. Pushed up, daily candle under, under. Okay, and finally we broke out over it. And then what was it? It was support. And it was support, and it was support, and support, and now it's not. Okay. And so big zone there, you guys. If anybody needs some like smaller levels intraday, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to stick with the daily chart here. SPY testing on that 580 right now, the 24-hour. Yeah, interesting. That'd be interesting where we open up. So I guess it's worth zooming in on. I'm gonna go to the 1 hour chart, you guys, and see the lines still make sense just to give us a game plan. And so again, you guys trade 0DT options. If I say in my notes in my tab, like, this is an upper range expected move, it doesn't mean if you're buying 0DTEs down here, again, I say this every week, doesn't mean, oh, 1K says hold a full position up here. No, it means, you trim at these wicks, and then this would be your final target. So this would be your runner. If you have a true runner, you trimmed, this is probably 60-80% gain here. That's where you leave your true runner and let that go. So if you ever see notes of, hey, this expected what I would expect to see today or whatever, if you're buying this tomorrow morning on a Monday and you have a Friday expiration, yeah, you can have this as a target. But you guys that scalp and trade SPX, there's no way I'm buying at 580. I'm going to tell you to hold the 584 because there's so many levels in between there. But you guys, Monday, Phantom said we're opening under 580 as of now. So let's see where we open. But my game plan is easy, like I said. Any opens under 580, say we open in here. Any push up to here, if you catch that on some calls, I'm definitely out there on a short trade. First trade of the day, Monday, first trade of the day, I'm absolutely taking those gains there. 15 minutes after the open, if I see good money and I hit that spot, there's no way I'm going to hold that and for that to come to break even or turn red on me. Okay. Let's be smart Monday morning. Any opens, any breakouts over that and hold. So breakout, retest. So that's your retest, breakout, retest. I'm bullish on the day. For possible trend day, maybe we range, maybe we range up to this 582. This candle body close here, this cluster. I don't know. But if we open and we close 580, I'm not bearish other than like shorting pops where it makes sense. Okay. I'm not going to take puts all the way up, keep averaging, and then come down here and cheer when I finally get in profit. That's bad trading. So any opens, guys, over 580, I think we can push on the day. Anything open under 580, I think that's going to trigger selling pressure on the day. So if we open, let's just say we open around here, your best bet if you don't like to play in the open or if you don't want to take an alert from analysis, guys, the trade mods, just see our reaction there. Put an alert at 580, see how we react. We start putting a double top, opening range is set for the day. Take your puts there because it's a small risk, like I always say, and a potential big reward to the downside. So any opens under 580, I'm bearish on the day, but does that mean I'm like bearish down to 570? No, we'll look left. If we start selling this 580, the best thing you do is look at last week's price action. And last week, our Friday lows were under 580. Lots to play of around here. So if I were to go to like the 15 or 5-minute chart, we're in puts under 580. Easy target down here. Easy target down to this 579. Final target, that is. Because again, we don't come down to 579 and you keep holding your puts and all of a sudden we double bottom and we bounce really hard. Okay? We don't want to be doing that. And so let's just build a plan, you guys. But again, if we sell under 580, we're just going to go to a larger time frame. We're going to look left. We're going to scroll left. And we're going to go, okay, what is under 580? And we'll come back to that October zone. And we got lots of levels to play off of here that really make sense. Does this make sense, especially the new people? I know it's just a Sunday market scan class, but as far as charting perspective, does that make sense, you guys? Like Find your levels on the larger time frames, 4-hour, daily, whatever it is, and then zoom in 30-minute, 15, and then you mark these levels on your chart or you set alerts. You know, if we're bearish on the day, sell under 580, we just sell into this, take your profits. Okay? QQQ. Is fairly similar setup, thesis that is. Definitely some big levels to watch here. Let me zoom in for you guys. Okay, guys, this is the QQQ daily chart. A few things to notably watch in my game plan as well. For me, any pushes up to 511.45. Let me make this line bigger for you so you can see it. Because we can see this 511.45 right here, guys. We bounce it, multi-day trend over. Okay, we sell into it, we bounce. We sell into it, we bounce. Okay, we now have our first daily candle close under it. Okay, so support is now resistance. Okay, for me, the first there's levels in between here, no doubt, absolutely. But my focus of the week, and this is literally how I do it. I just set alerts. I mean, I'll just do it for you guys here. Set an alert somewhere around there. I want to see if we push up to that week, up to the zone this week. What do we do? How do we react? Okay, bottom range here, we take our calls. Top range, you sell those calls, trim them, and you watch reaction for a possible short entry for puts. Okay, so a couple things to look at here. Our daily 50s, this red line, it is now overhead. So it's going to move slower because it's a 50-day moving average. So now that's one form of resistance. Okay, our daily 9 is now overhead. It's going to move faster because it's only a 9-day moving average. So that's going to come down somewhere like this as long as we trend down. That is another form of resistance. And then this big 511.45 is resistance as well. Okay, but I'm not mega bullish or bearish, excuse me. That is just what we have working against us if you want to be bullish on the market. Okay, we broke a big level, can't deny that. But that's a large wick there on the bottom side. That is buyers. That is candle opened here. We dipped to low of the day here and buy, buyers right there. And they closed at 507 basically. Okay, that's a big buyback. You should mark 504 on your charts, you guys. QQQ 504, absolutely. Okay, and then we have our trend line. Shorter time frame outlook, same thing. Like I said, any opens, you know, Phantom said we're a little bit weak, you know, 24-hour market right now, but let's say we gap up a little bit. We catch this hourly 20, we gap up. Absolutely take some calls up to this, but no, when we've seen that big level on the daily chart, how important that 511.45 was. And even last week, look at Friday. We opened there, boom, trigger sell. We pushed up, didn't quite make it again. Trigger sell down. Okay, that is a huge resistance. There are sellers waiting, you know, there's bears waiting, whatever you want to call it, until we get to there. Okay, but we catch a trend, absolutely ride that trend. We're day traders. Okay, any opens where we're at, the obvious thing, you're gonna know what I'm gonna be saying here is this 511 505.72-ish 506 pocket, that little pocket there. You know, take your call shots there. It's not just an old support. What is it? That's that price action from Friday, you guys. These are 30-minute candles. That's a 30-minute candle close over and a push up. So I expect buyers to be back there again. We sell through that. You try to calls, that's fine. If we sell through this, most likely we're going to be bearish. Take your puts into this zone here, into this zone here. Okay. Maybe you're not a put buyer. That's fine. Wait for 504. Set an alert and go, okay. 1K says it's a strong support, double bottom-ish zone. Absolutely. Look at that large wick right there. Double bottom zone on the daily. Absolutely. Take some calls there. Okay. Never hold puts all the way into support. You take your screenshot, you send to the gains tab, you go back to work, you go grab coffee, go to the bathroom, you come up, and now like 40% of your gains are gone because you didn't sell support. Okay. Do not be a greedy trader. Do not be a bad trader, guys. Use the levels in front of you. Any questions on QQQ, you guys? Going once, going twice. Okay. GameStop, first request. John is bullish. I need to zoom out. I haven't played so a while. I'm gonna go to the weekly, John, just to see where we're at. Are we rejecting anywhere? Does it make sense if we are rejecting? Fresh chart for you all. Let's get some levels here. John is bullish. John, are you in this already, or you want to be bullish? Or let me know in the chat, and I'll keep watching the chat for you while I mark some levels. I'm in it. All right. John, are you in? If you're already in it, I'm assuming some swings with a little bit of time, maybe, or we got a nice little pocket here. I like this already. This is the weekly, but I like this. All right, so I'm on the weekly, guys. Now let's break it down to, let's go the 1 hour just for speed of the class. John's already in it. If you're in it with profit, John, we got those 3 levels there. I guess I'll go back to the daily real quick and just see how it respects those levels. So see, we come back into this cluster here from, I'm looking at the chart, June 5th zone. Big push into it, ultimately sell. Can't get above it, can't really get above it here. Finally breaking over it. And so now, I mean, it's GameStop, you guys, but I can't deny this is a clean uptrend chart. I mean, it's GameStop. I don't play this, but can't deny that on the daily. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. So 3 lines to watch. I guess let me stick to the daily real quick for you, John. So some really good things working for you. Obviously, you're bullish on it. Trend line, love that. Over this lower zone here, the lower support over that. And now we're in the middle. We close right at the middle. And our daily 20 moving average and our daily 9 is the purple. We close right at that. Okay. So for me, I mean, I like the setup. Like I said, I don't trade GameStop, but this is nice. So if you're bullish either on a day trade or swings, we really want this 32.19, this 32.20 to hold. You know, because we see when we get under it, sell pressure, sell pressure, sell pressure. We get over it, buying, buying, buying. Okay, so now we're trickling into it. And so tomorrow, you know, assume we open where we close, tomorrow's decision day. Do we kind of bounce and consolidate and push up again, or we consolidate and lay down probably into this zone here, whether it comes in a day or a week, I don't know. But that 32.20, that's a very big spot. Very big spot. So I like this on pretty much all time frames, John. Nice find. But like I said, it's GameStop. It's not really for me. I stick with what I know. But anything, if you get this tomorrow or Tuesday, any breakout, it's only a 2-day downtrend. They break out, like, man, I love that. I see you're active in chat. What expiration do you have? If you don't mind me asking, when do they expire? But I like that, man. Any push over, because you break the trend line, you have your moving averages over, your trend line's over, you're over a big support. Like if we hold this, it's probably a slow grind up to here, as long as market cooperates, like up to there. But you know, say we get an alert hypothetically, we trend multi-days, you know, CPI is good, we get up here. Absolutely take your calls off there. Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't chase, don't watch this move and go, okay, I want calls now for this tiny move. No, you catch the breakout move. March 40 calls, nice. Yeah, that's a damn good chart. Nice eye. Reggie, you're up next. PANW. Quick drink of water, 1 second. We are in a downtrend, at least on the hourly. They are bullish or want to be bullish on it. A couple things I see right away that could work. So this yellow line down here at the bottom, guys, that is a 200-day moving average. To be bullish on anything like swings or shares, that is basically your last chance support for a moving average. And we bounced it on Thursday. So going to the daily, it is no accident why we bounced here. Why did we bounce there? Nice cluster support for sure on the daily, and a daily moving average 200. Very, very nice. There's some things working against you. Clear and obvious downtrend. Immediately mindset, we got to break this downtrend. Okay, but let's get some support lines going for you here. If you're still here in the lecture, let me know if you're already in this or you want to dive in. Neighbor's dog is annoying. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that's not too distracting. Let's see. Get top ranges marked and some bottom. All right. Kind of in the middle of this range here. You know, about $11 range or so to speak. But you know, there's some stuff to work with here. So immediately what I'm seeing, again, the 200-day moving average bounce support, perfect. Bounce up to the next big level. Again, there's many levels to play off of intraday, but on the daily level or the daily time frame, this is what is most important to me. Is I mark these levels. I basically look for when we're in a small downtrend, we break over, like where's kind of that pivot zone, and to me that's 173, and we close basically right there. Okay, so that's good for a bullish sentiment early in the week, but now we can see on the 1 hour chart, you know, how much it matters that has to hold. Okay, we have our daily 9 stair stepping down, so that's basically stacked on that trend line, you know, at least on the hourly. Okay, so that's 2 forms of resistance working against you, but any opens here over, absolutely ride that trend up to there. But for me, a day trade, I'm all out here, or anything with time. If you trim, you know, on the way up and then sell or hold a runner for possible breakout. But again, you know, like I always say, guys, don't trade on the emotions. Like you don't think 40% is good enough. You trade where the chart tells you. If we catch a bounce here and we ride all the way up to there, the chart tells us to sell there. Okay, doesn't matter if you're 300% or 30%. That's what the chart tells us. Any sells under and support is now resistance. Okay, we have to treat that as resistance, and we're probably going to come down to these zones here from Friday and Thursday. And absolutely, if we catch a bearish day on the market and we're selling, I know I'm going through the after hours just for illustration. Absolutely, you secure your puts at 169, because guess what? That 200-day moving average was really slow. That's going to be double stacked. That's 2 forms of support stacked right there. Okay, so double support, double strength, whatever you want to call it. I would expect to see that if we come back into that low zone there. A hard bounce, it's going to trigger buy orders. It's going to trigger the algos right there, and to buy it back. Okay, so definitely a day tradable chart for swings. For me, you either bottom tick some swings down here, or you wait for this breakout over this level here, Reggie, because it's just kind of in the middle of 2 zones here. But definitely day tradable. Very nice. Phantom, Netflix in this ugly chart. Thank you for this request, because I was checking this on the daily. Netflix is in a hurting right now. Look at that. Woo. I'm sure it looks worse because I have no support lines drawn, but that'll be nice for the class, because that'll be give us some perspective here. But there's a lot. Sure, Netflix can bounce and rally all next week, and you guys can message me, but there's a lot working against Netflix right now, just immediate observations here. But let's get to it. The biggest thing I see, I would wait to mark these levels here. I should have took some notes. I think it goes around here. So that was basically the upper shelf, the upper range, so to speak. So we pushed over, we broke down, we pushed over, we reclaimed it, we caught the trend and then moving average, and it was bullish for, you know, several weeks. Dipped down, pushed up. Oh my God, that dog. Let's see here. Just want to catch all these lines there. All right. So, in a downtrend line, absolutely. I think this downtrend over here. Let's just grab these wicks here. So I'm grabbing these topside wicks, you guys, to form a downtrend, because the more the merrier. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 working for us. All right, things to watch here. I am absolutely short the bounce mode into this zone here, this line, if we get this anytime soon. Any opens and trickle into this, absolutely ride your calls. But when we have a trend line, a support line, a daily 50, a daily 9, a daily 20, That's like four things. That's 4 or 5 things working against you. If we push into that, absolutely, I'd be bearish here, but my risk would be small. I wouldn't hold forever. If I'm wrong, we push up and we break out and the market's bullish, that's fine. But man, any pushes back in that zone, that is a easy short opportunity. Netflix can be expensive. I don't know if there's any leveraged or similar things you could take with it. It might follow Disney just a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But that's a bad daily candle. And Phantom pointed it out, thankfully. But guess what? I'm sure I can find something. Let's see where it bounced. Yep, I already see that. Okay, we close right here at basically quick charting 837.29. But now we look left. Why did it bounce there? Look at that wick on November 13th. Candle body close the next day, sell under, gap over, or not gap over, push over it, sorry. And so that bounce zone there is where we closed, okay? Let me get one more level here in the daily just to give us one more actually on how we can trade this, okay? A zoomed in look, you guys, if you guys got the big ports, you want to play Netflix, here's how I would do this. This is a day trade perspective, you guys. Same thing. I'll try and make it easier, at least hypothetically. Any sells under this zone, I'm short here. I'm shorting the bounces, but a break over, bullish for a bullish trend day possible. You know, targets could be here, look left. But any opens under this, and I think Netflix is going to come down into here, especially if we have market weakness and down into here. I don't know if we're going to get a $14, $15 move in a day. I mean, it can obviously do that. It went 866 to 837 in a day. But I'm just saying some very nice levels here to watch and to play off of on Netflix. Let's watch this early this week, you guys. Like I said, that's going to be an expensive name to play. Spreads are sometimes wide, but yeah, Netflix has some work to do. But any bounces into this, the closer we get to support and big support, I am less and less bearish until, guess what? We break the next zone and then we leg down some more. Okay. So nice chart, Phantom. Nice call out because yeah, even on the 4 hour, ooh, that's ugly. Just, you know, downtrend, huge support break, all moving averages are overhead. You know, there's not a lot to be bullish on until we come to this level. And then if this breaks, man, look out. Okay. HIMS, HIMS. Let's go the daily. All right. I'll go give that dog a snack or something so he shuts up. All right, downtrend. Immediate downtrend line. Let's see. Bullish on it. Are you in this already? Hacks DR, Hacks Doctor, is that how you say your name? There's some big support here coming. Definitely. Support balance definitely makes sense there. Okay, so this is our floor, this is our support, our trend line is our ceiling for now. Upper range, I would definitely even this zone here. I'm just looking left. Candle body closes, candle body close, candle body close, close, and close there. So upper range. So we closed right in the middle of the range. So from a day trade, or excuse me, a swing perspective, if you're not in down here, you kind of got to wait for a touch here or a breakout over, because to me, unless you're buying a lot of time, I don't buy the middle of this nice range here, because to me, you know, if say I got some long dated calls, it's like, well, to me, I got to at least wait to see if we're going to sell down and bounce into here, take an average, you know, because I never want to buy calls with several months of time and we just cut this support here and then cut and like, oh, we bounce and we break out. So it's tricky. You know, it's easier to buy, you know, bottom of big supports, because if we fail it, it's like, okay, no sweat. I don't care if they're June contracts. We just broke a big ass support. I'll get bearish on it, you know. But when you buy here, to me, it's just a 50-50 trade from a swing perspective, because it's like push up, great. Take all but one, leave a runner, maybe get the breakout. But it's like if we start trickling down, rejecting, to me, on a long swing, it's like you got to wait to see if that's going to hold or not. From a day trade perspective, similar thesis. Any opens over Friday's close is the first bullish thing, because you mentioned you're bullish on it. First bullish thing to look at, or to try and trade off of, because all this support here, or all this candlestick action here, all this consolidation top range of the day is support tomorrow. Well, it's support until it's not. Okay, so option number one, or say we gap down. To me, take your puts with caution into here, secure them, and then look for a double bottom on the day. Friday and Monday, hypothetically, take your calls there for a bounce. Because that support makes sense. That's where it makes sense to do so. But like I said, we're kind of opening in the middle of two ranges potentially. But who knows? Maybe we gap down a little bit. Take your calls with caution there. Try it. And if it fails, just say, hey, support failed. That's fine. We're probably, the market's probably looks super weak. There's a reason we sold through it, and just move on from it. Don't just hold for 90% loss and then decide to sell. IWH, Tesla, you're bullish. Daily chart. We got some things to look at. We got some things to be bullish on. Okay. Daily chart here. Decent topside wick, rejected old support, makes sense to me. It's that level there. Big bottom side wick. Okay. Again, I always say, when you look at a candlestick chart, what is it telling you? That is a big ass buyback on the daily chart. Okay. Sellers took it all the way down to 377, 3.6, all the way down there. And we closed it at 394. That's a big buyback. Okay. It makes sense with, where's that wick? December 9th. Okay. That's a big buyback. I shall mark that now because that buyback makes sense. I guess it's still a little bit under, but what did it do? It triggered a bunch of buybacks. All right, you want to be bullish on it, you said? I can see that. Any holds under this, or over, excuse me, this 390. So I'm on the daily. I'm gonna zoom in for you guys now so you can see it, because we're day traders for the most part. Zoom out just a bit. So just some analysis here, what we're seeing. Okay, we sell down. What are we doing? We're selling in support. We're holding support 1 day, holding support 2 days, holding support 3 days. Okay, that's why I said to watch 390. Do you want to take puts here? Absolutely not. I mean, those puts paid, but if you didn't sell, guess what? You got hurt big time. Those puts paid if you caught that candle start, but guess what? Ultimately a buyback. So my point is, you guys, there's still buyers here buying back at 390. Okay, so any trickles into this 390, any opens over it tomorrow specifically, or I guess, short term, any opens over this, calls. Any opens over this, calls. If you catch this down at 390, absolutely, this should be a huge target for the day for you. You're in 3 of them. I would absolutely sell 2 and then trailing stop, potential run up all day. Or if you're in 1, sell all. Or any opens under 390, same thing. With caution, old support is now resistance. So this is now resistance. If we sell through 390, that's where you short a bounce. But again, if you're wrong, be quick when you're wrong, because if we push over that, that may trigger a hard buyback reaction. Okay, so 390 tomorrow for me is what decides Tesla this week. Okay, anything under, and markets are weak, probably going to come into this 378 again. Whether we get there in a day or 2 days, I don't know. But we could see some consolidation. Like maybe nobody will win off this 390. Maybe we just kind of range a $4 day, and that'll pay huge on Tesla. Maybe we just range a little bit, but you can't ignore all these bounces here. You have to treat this as it's going to bounce until it doesn't. Okay. Do not buy puts at support until we're under it, and then you buy puts at resistance. But and then this daily 9 moving average, it's stair stepping down. So say we have a nice bullish trend day, and we start rejecting, you know, hypothetically somewhere up here, and you're like, oh, it doesn't make sense. I mean, yeah, I don't have a line here. Why? It doesn't make sense. The daily 9 moving average is probably going to trickle in like this, and go to your daily and go, oh, duh, it's the daily 9 or whatever it is. It's rejecting. That's why it's rejecting. Because I see a lot of people in trade floor, they're like, you know, I feel like I just bought the top on something. It's like, well, we'll zoom out, look where we're at, you know. Or if I drop hints in the chat, you know, I'm doing it for a reason. Like, hey, look where we're at. Okay. JJ wants snow. He is bearish. All right. Let's see what we got here. Go to daily. Ooh, big earnings gap. All right. Give me a second just to scan the charts. So give me my best bearish perspective. That's what you want. That's what I'm here for. Just going to do like 2 or 3 lines for all you guys just to kind of get some perspective. Okay. So JJ, we're on the daily here. Top range is still rejecting now that we're under it. So we sold through a support. We're rejecting. Bottom range is holding. Okay. Why is this, you know, why is this holding? Why does this make sense? Let's look left, all this price action here. Look at this. Look how far back I go. I had no idea I was going to do that. Look how much that plays off that. When we get over it, we push. Under, sell pressure. Over, big buying. Under, selling, selling, selling. Okay. We now ER gapped up over that big level. You know, we haven't been there since May, and now we bounced to it. So you're bearish on it. Let's find some things to be bearish. Okay. Thing number 1 is your daily 20, this green line here. So it's going to move based on price action. We kind of consolidated, so it's probably going to open roughly the same spot. Okay. So 163.36-ish, that's a form of resistance. You know, like I said, you want to be bearish on it, that's fine. Okay. But we have support here. So for me, this is just a day trade range. No bias both ways. Take your calls down here, your puts up here. It's not going to work that easy. You get the point though. But until we break under this, and really under these levels here, it's probably 161.5. So you can trigger a sell under 162.15 for some puts, but don't take your puts here and think you're coming down here right away when we have all this price action from Friday. Big buybacks on these 1-hour candles, because those buybacks are support right here. Okay. So really, you know, if you buy multiple contracts, you know, under this 162.15, yeah, trigger some puts, but I mean, sell a huge amount. Again, hypothetically, you're in, if like my mindset, you know, I don't know how much these there are. Say I'm in 8 of these. I'm selling like 6 of these for sure right here, because the remaining 2 are probably free. Markets look weak. Absolutely. Ride this trend down. Post a gains tab. Tell your girlfriend, tell your wife, your boyfriend, whatever it is, you know, look how much money you made, but sell at support and then cheer on those runners. But do not take a full position here, get bounced, back to break even, or take a loss. Like, that's not how we want to trade this. And so 162.15 tomorrow and this week is probably going to decide the day for me, as well as probably, I don't know if that trend line is going to work. Nah, it's probably a messy trend line. Let's just see. Yeah, I don't really love that, just because there's only 2 touches. But yeah, any opens over that daily 20, and it's, to me, it's hard to be bearish because we're probably going to push up to this. But any sells on this, absolutely take some swings. Take some swings with time. Grab, you know, targets down to here, down to here. That can pay very, very well. All right. Oh my gosh, I forgot the chat is not like auto scrolling. I'm just going through the watch list. All right, making sure. Let's see. Jimmy, Kevin, you want NVIDIA? Yep. I'm just going to go through the watch list. SMCI. All right, we got a bunch of stuff rolling in. All right. All right, I'm sort of caught up on the chat now. I'm just going to keep going through the watch list, you guys. We're doing decent on time. Hood was the last one I wrote down, and then everything else in the chat. Excuse me. Oh, fitness. All right. Let's see. Let's just read what you said. 4-hour chart here. Fitness and Future says, watching the upward trend on Hood, took it from a 4-hour time frame starting December 20th. Low candle. Once it broke, it seemed to regain. It was curious if you thought it was playable. How would you play it? Don't play channels often, just curious. Okay. 4-hour time frame, December 20th channel. Let's see. I think I see what you see. Let's see here. Zoom out just a little bit. December 20th low candle. Wait. 23rd, 20th. Oh, that's this one. Yep. All right. Cool. Do I take the trend line there? I think I'll take it here. Makes sense. Tag that wick there. Tag that after hours wick. Top side. Let me just get this going real quick. Top side, obvious clear rejections up here. Sellers are still up here every single time. Absolutely, you go short at 43. Easy triple top. Could be a quad top next time it gets there. He was concerned with or mentioned this. Not a bad setup. I like this. We need something in the middle here. Let's get a game plan. Just scan the charts here. Yeah, to be bullish, I mean, I got to get over. It's almost a range. There's kind of a tight spot here on the daily. So I'm looking at these top. That cluster there, rejection there. Consolidation, sell down triggered the sell. But below us, still a bunch of buyers down here. Kind of a tricky chart, kind of not. Yeah. All right, Fitness, here's what I got. I'm on the 4-hour still, yeah. So I see it's a tough zone in between here, but I see more things to be slightly bullish on than bearish. We have a trend line, and I'm gonna zoom in for you guys. A trend line and 2 moving averages underneath you. So our 2 moving averages are stacked underneath this. So that is a form of support. So basically 3 forms of support, but 40, 49-ish up to, I guess, 41, just for speed of class. You know, top zone rejections still here. And so kind of makes it tricky. So I want to say it's just day tradable for now. Hopefully that's what you're looking for. You know, any opens, you know, based on the close, you got your 2 moving averages stacked, you got your trend line. Absolutely take some calls into that, or take some calls and sell into that, and then a hopeful breakout, you know, and then best case scenario consolidation, leg up or consolidation, catch this trend leg up. But he sells under here, tight range, and be on caution, because like that's a big wick, that's a big buyback, and then you got your trend line. And so tricky spot. If you want to be a bear on it, I really, we got to slice the trend line and the support, because we see 39.29, we get under that, how easy that is. Selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure, selling pressure. We get over it, push up, over it, push up, over it, push up. And so me, 39.29 is kind of my pivot, you know. Yeah, swing, I don't like it either way for a swing. It's just a guess. This is just day trade zone for me, day trade chart. But really nice chart, really nice channel, definitely on the 4-hour, like you pointed out. It could go either way. I would just treat it as a day trade either way. All right. Kevin, NVIDIA. I don't think I love this chart. Let's see. I don't think I love it on the daily. I don't remember. Maybe it's a different name. Let's not be so judgmental. No, this one's all right. I think it was a different name. I can't remember. So on the daily, Kevin, if you're still here, that wick is, or that candle's not awesome. It's from a day trade or a daily candle perspective. It's, we opened, we pushed up, we sold, but we came right down into support. Who was sending me DMs? Of course, it's Norvin. Norvin, I see in the chat, brother, but we got to go in order, man. you messaged me in Discord. I see it. I see your Zoom messages. We got to go in order, man. NVIDIA 135.54. Look at that. It's a thick line means. I know we've talked about in class. I just for illustration purposes for you guys. Kevin, 135.54. Mark down your chart. Play off of that level. Absolutely. Okay. Again, 135.54. What are we doing here? Sold down into a huge support, that big support I talked about, bounced it. Thursday, opened over, looked like we're having a great day on NVIDIA until we didn't. Sold down under the support. So guess what? Support is now resistance, you guys. This is a huge zone. Basically 140.78 to 141. You should mark down your charts because anytime we get up to there, there's probably going to be some sellers. Okay, 135.54. So far we are under that, but any opens over, I'm definitely bullish off this support. I think it was Kevin. Yeah. Bullish for possible trend day or possible just to the daily 20, the stash line that comes up, but absolutely buyer calls off that. Any sells under support, I'm bearish again on NVIDIA. Not that I don't like the company or don't want shares, but I'm playing the chart. Any sells under support, again, with caution, let me back up, I guess. A sell through that, you could take some puts here, but don't forget, look to the left. Look at Friday's price action. Big buyback, there's something going on there. A big buyback at 135, we can scan out and see, but a big buyback and reclaim. So for me, with caution, take your puts, but don't forget a daily or possible double bottom there, and then low a day there from Friday. But any sells under that, and that's probably going to trigger a lot more selling on the day or the week. But this is a very nice level to play off of. NVIDIA, you guys like to play this. Again, 135.54 is going to decide for us. January 24th, 135 call. Are you up, Kevin? I see you're in the chat now. Are you break even? Where'd you take it out on the chart? Let me know. Or maybe you took a couple days ago and you're red or whatever. But you got 12 days left. But as long as you're not too red and you took it somewhere on Friday, like you should be good as long as that holds. I'll give you a minute or two in the chat. Let me know if you're down a few percent. Nice. Yep. It's a really nice day trade potential, brother. Any holds over this, and we can see a bounce, definitely. But we got to see that hold again. Like a 4-hour chart. That's what I keep talking about. 135.54. We see, you guys, we sell under, sell, selling over, bounce. Okay, so that's going to decide our week. Big level there. No, I can't keep up. I'm going in the order, man. You got like 10 things listed. Tread, SMCI, consolidation. Before earnings, looking to buy 1221.50 call. A 50 call, 50. That's 28 bucks out of the money. Tread, you want to always pick a strike price that makes sense. Okay. Earnings, yeah, are probably right here on the 20th. So yeah, a lot of consolidation, no doubt. Definitely some bounces here at that 31.60-ish, but I don't like a 50 call. And not calling you out, but I have a feeling if you're picking a 50, it means that's all you can afford, which that's not a bad thing. But the point is, you got to pick a strike price that makes sense, because if you get in a 50 call and each dollar you move, you got to understand option Greeks. Each dollar that moves against you, you're farther and farther away from that 50 call, way up here. The farther and farther you are away, the more you're going to lose, the faster you're going to lose, the more it's going to hurt. And he bounces up, and you have time decay. You know, you could be selling down, then SMCI, I can't talk, I'm tired, is going to be pushing up, but you're now 20 bucks out of the money, hypothetically, come down in this 30 zone. You're so far out of the money that this is barely making any money on the contract. And so a little lesson, you guys, buy a contract that makes sense. If you can't afford a realistic contract, just skip it. Don't take the trade. Generally speaking, oops, man, I'm struggling. SMCI. You want, it's not going to show it here. You want to take a trade that has a delta of 30 or higher, generally speaking. Okay, delta 30 or higher. Okay, so a 50 call has a 17 delta. That's a 17% chance that by expiration you're going to end up in the money. Okay, it's $1. Who's asked about this? Tread. Say you want to buy 5 at $1. That's 500 bucks total entry. You should buy less contracts at a closer strike. So instead of buying 5 at 100 and your total price is 500 bucks, why don't you just buy 2 at 240 and your total entry is still 500 bucks. You're in a 40 strike, and guess what? Now your delta is a 38. That's a lot better contract selection. Okay? Pick a contract selection, guys. A little bit of a tangent that makes sense. Don't buy these wild out of the money ones. They're cheap for a reason, because they're so far out of the money, you guys. Okay, back to the chart here. All right, back to the chart. Definite support here, no doubt. 31, basically 32 bucks. Any bounces on this? But you're on a 221 contract. Yeah, a little bit of time, hypothetically, but earnings are coming up, in a week. So any consolidation here, you might just get a little bit of IV pump. That's it. Implied volatility on the contract because of earnings. But if we stay sideways and you're pumping and they gap down or they go flat, the IV is going to deflate. And even though we didn't move very much, your contract's going to go way down. But any holds of this level, absolutely play the bounces, but be mindful of earnings, because earnings are a gamble. You just don't know about them. Okay. Dominique, Dutch Bros. I think that's BROS, I believe. Trying to get through these as quick as I can, guys. Sorry. A daily earnings gap up, held the earnings. Is this all-time highs? Where are we at? Nope. Ooh, top range. I'm a low-risk conservative trader. Bullish, I don't want any part of this up here. But not going to sell you short on your request. We'll get a game plan. But my point is, just from a shares perspective, I'm on the weekly. Just this is for anybody, not just on me. Just if you didn't like shares down here at 30, why do you want them here at the top at 58.60 when we got this big rejection here? Okay, so zoom out on the chart and always know where you're at, because it's like you didn't want to hear, didn't want to hear, didn't want to hear, didn't want to buy in here, but now you want to buy here on this big top range rejection. Something to take note of there. But Dominique, let's see, let me know in the chat if you're still here, if you want to day trade this, swing this, what you're looking at, because there's some things to like about this. Definitely support hold here. I'll just wait for you in the chat. A push up, any push up basically over on Friday's top range. Push up into that zone, trim your calls, take all, whatever it is. Any sell under can go either way, really. If we open where we close, either way tomorrow, either way this week. 57 is kind of the deciding zone. Easy sell if we trigger that 57 sell into this zone here. Hold all your runners but one. Sell down, keep holding. Any sells under this, to me, going back to the daily, 56.14. Any sells under that and those EMAs cross over, that's probably a trigger for some more downside, multi-day downside, possible swing to the downside. Because if we start triggering under this 56.14, we can see a little bit of selling pressure. So as long as that holds, push up, leg up for that top range into that 60 zone. But just know where we're at when we push up here. That is the top range, all-time high zone. Like I said, don't chase the hype, whatever it is on Twitter. Maybe you like to trade this, that's fine. But just know where we're at. But still very, very tradable. Norvin, I finally come up to the chat. You want affirm puts. Oh, we charted it. Someone wanted this a while ago. Damn. Look at that. Bounce, support. I hate seeing these hindsight trades. It's like, shit, man, that was an easy short. Push up. Puts at resistance. Big ass resistance zone there. Sell. Obviously, you're probably not going to hold for that whole thing. But my point is, I've been talking all night trying to teach. Puts resistance because it's a low risk. Low risk. Big reward, down here. Dang. If you're not already in, Norvin, hopefully you made some money off this because that's 4 good days of down action. We're not there yet, but yeah, we're getting there. Definitely some support coming up where if you're late to this party, the party on puts might end pretty soon. Support here coming up, support in that 52 zone. For me, how I look at things, I would love a bounce to short. Any bounces into 60? Yeah. So old support, sold through now resistance, okay? So any bounces into here, like we bounce up, we have a nice bullish day. Any puts into that 60 zone, you'd expect that to reject again, bounce, leg back down. Very nice zone there. Not a bad chart. Got whacked last 4 days. Damn. All right, couple requests for Apple. Nathaniel, I do not sell premium. Talk to Tilio or Joe. His Discord name is a Joe named Joe. I see your comment about NVIDIA selling premium. Talk to them. What makes sense, or ask in the chat. There's some people here that sell premium that are pretty damn good. Just get some different perspective. But I am not the one to ask. Apple, look at that big buyback. Look at that big wick right there. Look at that. I think you guys should mark 233 on your chart if you don't, because when we come back there, we're probably going to bounce really hard again. Okay. Apple, some things to watch here. A little bit extended, like I always say, guys, when we get, so these are moving averages, even on an uptrend, when we get a little bit extended out away from them, meaning how far we're away from them, we tend to come back to them. Get extended, tend to come back to them. Overextended, come back to it. Overextended, back to it. Okay. So now we're under it, but a little bit extended. Like that's a pretty hard sell day on Friday. So for me, I'm predicting, I have no idea, but somewhere in this 236 zone, I'm thinking we start seeing some possible consolidation. And I don't know if we leg down from it or push up, but I expect to see this moving average kind of catch up, because like I said, I could throw some Bollinger Bands on here as well. Once we get overextended, like price tends to consolidate and gravitate towards back to it. And so you guys asked about Apple. I like these levels here. So I made this thick line here because I'm about to zoom in for you guys, just give us perspective on why I marked it, because we see over that, we can push. We keep selling under this 237.57. And I think it's, more selling pressure. So for me, day trade perspective, you guys, on Apple. Need a quick drink of water. Lose my voice just a bit. All right, day trade Apple. How are we going to day trade this? Any opens under, same thing as every ticker. Push up into support, or excuse me, resistance. Trim your calls, hold for possible breakout. Daily 50 is going to be right overhead like this. Your daily 50 moving average, absolutely trim there. Okay. Any sells under 237 or any sells under and failure to break out over, continued selling pressure down. Okay. So when I say failed breakout, exactly this candle action here is what I'd be looking for. Okay. So if we open, okay, let's just repeat what happened Friday. If we open here and we push up, I'm expecting a candle rejection like that. Okay. Maybe we push over. That's fine. Take your calls, ride the runner. That's fine. But any rejection, any consolidation, top zone up here, like I'm thinking it's going to trigger some sells. And obviously, first stop here, any sells under, grab this. You're down to 1, you're in 7, or you're in 2. Absolutely, go get this bottom range down here. Set a chilling stop, whatever you got to do. But Apple, definitely day tradable. Don't love it on swings right now, but very, very big zone there. Very nice. Just checking the chat. Norm, I can't go over all these. Sorry, man. I'm trying to get everyone's requesting. Reg, R-E-G. Can I go over STZ? Let's do it. STZ, never heard of it. This would be nice. Constellation Brands. What do they do? Do they sell telescopes? What are they? Oh, shit. Well, I don't like that. Let me know in the chat. Reg, are you in this? I mean, that's a hard sell. Like 217 to 180. I give you perspective, but I don't want to just going to be doing bad this year, short to the end of the year for Modelo. Interesting. All right. Is this, I'm trying to zoom out. Is that all-time low? Short enough a year for Modelo. Okay. Well, I don't want to be rude, but I don't have any levels down here. Our only option is, because it just made a huge new low, and there's nothing, as far as I can tell, unless I need to zoom out my weekly chart, there's nothing back here. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, wait, do I got something? Okay, I'm wrong. Sorry. Retrace what I just said. All right, let's get a game plan. Let's get some lines going here, because that's a freaking ugly weekly candle. 180 is definitely something going on there. So I drew a line here. I'm looking at this here, and now we're looking left. We can see that 180. I'm still on the weekly. Okay. Any sells under that 180? Hopefully it's not too big of ranges to tag because it's the weekly chart, but all right. So I had to go back 4 years. But again, you guys, never delete lines on your chart, because price action, when it comes back to it, it will always react. And they got a reaction at 180 because look where we closed. Okay. I don't want puts at support, and this tells me this is support. So for me, short any bounces, big bounce zone would be basically 188 level. So I'm looking, I got to go back in time, and I'm grabbing that there because any sells under, hard sell under. Yeah, I'm I'm not bearish at support. I'm not bearish at 180. I don't even know this name, but any bounces up to this, short the bounce every time until it fails you. Maybe it fails you one time, maybe you get profit, sell down, sell down, sell down. Maybe the fourth time they break out, that's fine. Get long over that, but up to this big weekly zone, this big 210 level. But you know, that 180 is huge. But any sells under it, and yeah, they're going to trigger down to this level, down to this level. That's a hard candle on Friday. To me, that's, you know, let it sit a day or two, let things settle out. Worst thing that can happen is it consolidates, you get whacked down here. You don't want to do that, but maybe you make money. Maybe short this right away tomorrow and you make money, but I don't know. But interesting. All right. JJ, good question. 4 hour versus 2 hour. Really no preference because I like the 1 hour on trading. I tend to go with 4 hour because it shows me the intraday wicks very nicely. It's just farther away from the 1 hour if that's a good enough reason. The 1 and the 2 are kind of just close-ish, and I feel like I would get roughly the same levels from the 1 and the 2. So I just picked the 4 because sometimes on the daily, or I know on the daily, you can't see pre-market and after hours, you know, price action. And so for me, 4 hours nice because it's like it's big blocks of price action and information, and you know, there's a lot to be looking at there. AMD surge. Do you guys remember? I mean, I know, hope you remember because we drew this for this class. Said any bounces here, get that push into 130. You know, don't be late and look at we sold down. Does anybody remember that? I know we talked about this last week or the week before. I can even look at my notes. We talked about AMD 2 weeks ago. So now, let's go to the daily because AMD is just no love. So I know we started the lecture, you know, let's hold this trend line. Let's see if we get a bounce. All hope is not lost because we got 131. Okay, that breaks. All hope is not lost. 122.62. Okay, well, shit, we just broke that. So now we look left, and to me, I'm not saying dive in puts on anything because we gapped down. I had a bad down day, but there's a lot of support coming up here. I'll probably have to get some levels for research just so we can, you know, figure out how to day trade this because I see a couple right away. So for me, Serge, if you're still in here, let me get out of drawing mode real quick. So look where we are, look where we bounced, and then look relative to why we bounced there. Does that make sense? That's a huge cluster from May top range, August dip down. Well, May through August, nice cluster here, pushed over it, and then it was on since then. Okay, so this is a very big spot to watch to day trade. I would not be if you're in swings. I mean, I can't backtrack on my comments. If you're going to take a swing shot, you know, and I mean a little bit of time. I don't mean like 3 days of time. Like this is where you do it. You do it at what I call last chance support. This is basically last chance support before we leg down again. So if we start seeing consolidation here, I think we got CPI on Wednesday. Let's just, I'm not gonna say ignore CPI, pretend CPI is not this week. If you start seeing some consolidation here, your moving averages are gonna start creeping up and catching up. That's where you can nibble on some swing tries to try and catch a breakout if you want to be bullish on this. Swinging short, you really need a breakdown under this level before you take puts because you don't want to take puts on support. Doesn't matter how bad they're getting beat down last week or month or whatever. You don't take puts as support. And so for me, this is really just day trade material chart. Any bounces off support, absolutely. Friday's lows, take your calls. You know, hypothetically, write it into that zone there because let me zoom in. I'm sorry, guys. Still in drawing mode. There we go. So, because that's going to be a Friday double bottom, on the day. So Friday's day, Monday's day, double bottom zone. So absolutely, if it looks like we open over it, we sell into it, we're like bouncing, even double bottom intraday, take your calls for sure. Okay. But again, look left, we got all this Friday price action. You already know I'm gonna say absolutely 116 to 116.28 ish zone. Like I'm starting to trim heavy on some calls because the way my mind works, if I look at Friday's price action, I go, oh, they sold back through that. What's the reason why they're not going to buy over this? Okay, my first instinct is they're probably going to sell it down again. So you want to secure your profit and then leave a runner as always. Okay, you never want to hold the full position. Go, okay, today's the day of the breakout, and then it's not, and suddenly 85% gains, you're back to 10% gains because you didn't sell. Okay, so play the chart in front of you. And he opens over and a push and breakout is a really good sign for possible, I'm using air quotes, possible reversal. Who knows? Maybe it's a day, maybe it's a week, but that's a support claim, a reclaim. So you can't ignore that. But and he opens and rejects under it. We're going to see this again quick. And he opens under this, and you know what's after this, hard selling pressure again. So I don't like AMD swings until we see consolidation and push, or even better, you might have to be patient. You need that 122. But good request. All right. Manu, good to have you in here. Share is down 2%. What's 2%? That's 5%. So you bought sometime Friday or Thursday? That's not bad. Shares have no expiration, but it doesn't mean you can't lose money. Again, for you bulls or you buyers, let's hope that, this didn't hold, this didn't hold. Let's hope this holds and we start seeing some consolidation. Let these moving averages curl underneath and then reversal. It's similar to this: down, down, sell, 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 bounce off support, push, never really caught the trend, and boom, it's on. And so that's kind of my thesis here. Who knows? But man, any sell under 114, and it's even with shares. I mean, maybe it's in your Roth, but you gotta if you're bought somewhere around here. I mean, this is obviously a long way down. That's 16% down. So just dollar costs, when it makes sense. Don't just buy every dollar down. Don't buy at 114, 113. You buy at support when and where it makes sense to. All right, guys, we're 15 minutes over, but a quick recap. I got everybody at least one request. Again, a recap on SPY before you guys leave. Don't leave. There's 20 of you in here. I can see when you leave. Just kidding. If you got to go, that's fine. SPY 580, you guys. I'm on the daily. Watch my notes in my tab tomorrow this week. That's going to be the deciding factor. Anything over that, any pushes or bounces over that, and we can bounce this week. We can play very nice in this range. Calls, inputs. It's not going to be this easy, not this clean, but very nice range into here. Any holds a 580, and this week I'll look for a push in this old all-time high zone, which lines up with this. And I expect a lot of resistance there. There's a lot of volume parked there. I am not taking calls here at the top. I'm taking calls at the bottom. I'm shorting the top until then. Any sells under 580, under 580. I'm looking for a completion of this gap from election night. Okay. Any sells under 580, I'm looking for, continued bearish week. But again, it's a big kill candle Friday. We might bounce, we might consolidate just a little bit. We will see. Oops. QQQ recap. Similar thing. I like SPY start a lot better, but QQQ same thing. Any pushes similar to that red zone overhand SPY, 511, 45, same thing. Any bounces again in this zone, I'm treating this as a range until it's not. I'm shorting tops. Again, this is a big range, you guys. I'm not saying, buy 0 DTEs and hold for this whole thing. I'm just saying range for the week. Anytime we push up here, I'm short up here. I'm long down here on calls. Any sells under, we're legging down probably into this zone here. Okay. So interesting spot in QQQ. I usually, or not usually, but I like single names a lot usually, but the ETFs I really like going into this week. But again, we have CPI on Wednesday, I think. We got bank earnings this week, so this is going to look a lot different. We're starting this week. Let's see how we, end up at the end of the week come Sunday. But with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Thank you for sticking around. All you guys had very good requests, very good commentary. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. DMs are always open, you guys. If you need help with the chart, let me know. If you have an outlook on swings or day trades or shares, and I'll be here to help you guys. With that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.